Hello. Good afternoon. How do you do? This is the Assembly right here on ABS television. My name is Lady Blonde from very high places. And you know what we do on the Assembly? Basically what we do is we get to deliberate on matters that trended. And today's edition, we have a full house, okay? We've got some persons you haven't seen, yes, honorable members that you haven't seen in a while, and some you've been seeing. But because, should we call this a Christmas edition? I don't know what to call it, but Christmas is around the corner. What do we call it?
Christmas addition.
Addition? What is addition?
More celebration.
Okay, celebration. Christmas celebration gathering.
As long as nation dunia subuadro.
Oh my God.
Before we enter next year, before 2023.
It's fine. It's okay. Well, I just have to allow them to introduce themselves. But then I told you before. Do you not know why you have a black speck on? Are you blind? Are you visually impaired? I don't get the sun.
Back again,
Ima now, I will do too much. So while I was rushing from the office, it's earlier, so it's still the same thing.
Okay,
just introduce yourself,
I'm with
please.
son now.
Okay.
Ibondi Oma na-egenti. Anyị abịagokwe n'ọzọ. Ọmụ nwa bụ High Chief ọnụ na-eli one n'Ọka South. Utu dike na-atụba aja dị ime nke izizi n'isi agụ ama Igbo. Anyị abịagokwe n'ọzọ tata na the assembly. Unu sobenye na topic nke anyị n'aka. Udo dịrị unu.
Heaven knows I have no clue of what your title is.
Okay, no. It's Gokale Rapumaka.
Come on, it has collected another title. Utu, I have some.
Yes,
Utu,
I was about to ask you. This Utu Dike na Atoma Anya Jadima, whatever you
I love that title.
I don't really. But it's fine.
Wonders never cease.
Jama'a Baraka de Sabuwa de Kuyo. Asalo is your
What are you
boy
saying?
and still remain your boy all the way from Katsina Street and Kala Local Government. My father is a Malang, Kuma me I am a son of Malang. That is why they call me Malang Guru. You are highly welcome.
Okay, Goro,
You
you haven't brought any card for us. I don't know why.
So I am a Muslim, not a Christian. So I am not doing Christmas. Come on.
It's not a
We are
must.
one, as much as
You
you
know
not
that
doing
but
it, you're not
I know we are all one. Among it is like Salah, Baba Salah, Cook, and Salah. I will share cow, I will share meat, because it's a festival of love. You can't have food in your house and your labels, your label will be hungry.
Last time you did Salah, you did not give us any.
I was in Castina down.
Okay.
I was in Castina.
It's actually good that everybody seems to have added some synergy, some exergy, some energy to whatever they had before. It's nice. Good afternoon. I am Honorable Prof. Zekwes, HPZ. Compliments of the season. Merry Xmas in advance. And it's good to be on the show once again.
So you haven't ordered anything?
Ordered what?
You've not ordered anything. You just said
Something like
something.
what?
I don't know.
Oh, compliments
As
of the
long as-
season.
The only thing here
Something I do not know.
Honorable Prof. Zekwes, HPZ. HP. The HP is title already.
Only him
You
is
have been
honorable.
saying
Only
that.
him is prof.
What? Am I lost to something? Is this the first time you're saying that?
No.
It used to be prof.
Oh, okay.
Honorable.
Yes, and the reason why and the reason why it is spectacular and peculiar to me and me alone is because it has an acronym. HPZ.
An interesting one, Joe.
What the name will acronym?
I will go and look for dictionary for acronym.
Acronym. It's okay. I know you didn't go to school. You're not quite educated, but it's fine.
It is fine.
Yes.
And I do educated all of my country.
I don't even know the difference between you two.
If you are talking for everybody's language, because me, I am talking general language for here. This is a festive season.
Okay, one house. One house, okay, one house. Now let's begin with you. Wayfi, you know, your governor has been doing a whole lot.
Yes.
And just recently, he increased salaries of workers and also, talked about giving 15,000 to each civil servant. And let me elaborate more. Apart from the 15,000, he also said, look, from next year, January, they will be receiving 10% increase in their salary. What are your thoughts on that?
In wages,
Wages, sorry.
Thought, thought in Dunya, because Governor in Awapano, he's been trying, he's been doing, because even if, apart from the fact that the 15,000 something on this, a lot of things is changing in Nigeria.
Okay.
So, only need for the increment of that salary and wages, all the possible, because the things are changing, increasing, different kind of things, especially this Xmas season now.
Okay.
So I make any now. She when I see na ya will go and na another will go. So I'm a governor here, only see Professor Chokoma Soludo.
Anyway, the proverbs you've been coming up with today, I really don't get it, but it's fine.
Come on, in adding to what our Mutumangaya che.
Which one is?
Are you not a human being?
I
Let's hear you, please.
In addition to what
in
addition to what Abu Nawa say, it's I love what our governor is doing.
Okay.
Because if you watch, everything is increasing in Nigeria. Bag of rice is increasing, tomato, petrol, everything is increasing.
Yes.
Among salary can never increase.
Yes.
Check out. Before bag of rice, now it has skyrocketed to 40,000 naira, and some people's salary is still the same way.
The same thing.
So, in fact, I am clapping for Governor Soludo for what you call for bonus. What is it for bonus? Shena bonus he give them for this bonus. At least from this bonus now, if you add us more money, you buy bag of rice. If you look at it, say, hey, this is Soludo bonus. It is a welcome development. Kudos to Governor Soludo. I call him double governor. If you can go Teta, it will be triple governor, first in history.
Okay, so Honorable Prof, that's according to you. Now, this is something that has been, is being talked about in the neighboring state, talking about Imo State. Someone called me some days ago and said, hey, look, I don't even know what's happening. Like, I'm so happy for the Anambra civil servants, right? We're not even having a feel of that. That was what someone said in Imo State. What do you think about this bonus?
Yes, as far as I am concerned, the Bukufarangia cavity of all civil servants ooze, make comments, regurgitations, decrypting and showing gratitude. That is nice. Everybody is happy about the increase, the 10% increase in wages, the bonus for the month of December. Those things are nice. But of course, as long as the world continues, as long as the human race continues, the powers that were, the powers that be, and the powers that will always be, will always make it open for vituperations to reign. Of course, I've heard people say on the road, why will it be just 10%? Why not increase 20%? Why will it be this? Why will it be this? Why will it be that? Obviously, it happens. Every single ideology, every single theory, every single thing you do that does not arouse criticism, that does not arouse some kind of disagreement and agreement, is not an ideology. So for me, as far as I am concerned, it is a humongous development, it is a magnificent development, and it is an ameliorative impact on the lives of the civil servants of Nigeria. Because for a month of Sundays, it has been some kind of disagreement, some kind of economic discombobulation, which has led to a gross increase in prices, some kind of inflation, increase in prices. But salaries have been beneficiaries of stagnation. People make slight comment, that outside Nigeria, when it's time for Xmas like this, things begin to reduce in price. But here, things begin to increase. Let's take petrol price, for example.
No, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
So, to finish up what I was saying, I say that the governor of Anambra State is doing well. It is a very wonderful thought, an ameliorative thought, and I am happy about that. Thank you.
All right. So moving on to...
Yes, I don't come with my dictionary.
The only thing
It's only my governor is doing well.
He's doing well. Because
every other time,
I same to whether if you are against us or you are because you are not
from being for or against. Okay, mentally.
Well,
they not said
the governor is doing well.
No, our governor is doing well.
I am a proponent of positive change. I agree with everything you have said. Just that I have bigger idiolects in expressing what you have said.
Oh, yeah,
I can't. You as a
doing well.
Okay, so let's talk about something else that happened during the week. Talking about IGP, Inspector General of Police, visited Anambra State, visited the governor of Anambra State, and he reassured Anambra of tackling the insecurity challenges in Anambra State. Now, I don't need to remind you that this is a festive period, and it's more like telling the Anambra people from Anambra to come home. Look, there's nothing happening. You're just going to feel secure. Just come home. What do you think about that? Anybody can go first.
Okay. What do we think about what the IGP coming here?
The reassurance.
Oh, okay. Of course. It is key. It is instrumental. It is imperative for a leader to express that panache, to express that confidence, to express that vigor. Even if people are losing their energy, that assurance from the leader will make it wonderful, will restore some kind of confidence in their minds. But I've had comments on the road.
You always hear comments, but go ahead.
Of course. About the psychosomatic physiognomy of the IGP himself, his stature and everything, which is an infinitesimal issue anyway, as far as I'm concerned. But you see, the security imbroglio, the security impasse that has lasted in Nigeria for a month of Sundays is really bigger than people can imagine. They have been giving so many names, let me not mention names. They have been giving so many names. It's only in Nigeria that I've seen terrorists and bandits changing their names. So, quite all right, it's a good thing. I am happy that the IGP came to Anambra State to give us that assurance that people can come home. But of course, no matter how you give people assurance, those who will come, will come. Those who will not come, will not come. Because something can still happen, and something cannot happen. Okay. So we just pray that Nigerians have the breath of fresh air.
One more person.
From this ridiculous and inhumane Mephistophelian happening known as insecurity.
Okay.
Adding to the visit, Onishia in Anambra State, so actually, the visit Amaka, because just like Prof Ma, that people can now come back home because has given us hope. I see it as just like what we call site inspection.
Okay.
Insecurity, maybe a prof so it's good as he come. But it's not only visiting. My hope is that the visit here engage at least more workforce, tighten the security in Anambra State. So that is all I have to say for this thing.
My only contribution for this matter is that it is a good idea that our IGP come to visit Anambra. It's not all about coming to visit. The voice on ground, are they well Avonga prepared, equipped with a good building,
part of the reasons why he came down here.
Equipment. Because I could remember before you call a police, hey police, come, we are having attack for here. You go say, okay, don't worry, let me buy fuel, I'm coming. You have your police van, no fuel.
So
Maybe before they will come, the people has do everything and go.
Yes, yes.
They will not come arrest the innocent people.
This is
So please, I want all the whole angle of all this kind of
all the police,
whatever.
Security.
It's one of the reasons. Part of the reasons why he actually came down to Anambra State. Okay.
You see,
For better.
it is actually explicit and ridiculous ineptitude on the part of police officers that they will be saying this kind of things. Just like when there was fire outbreak and people from fire service were called and they said they did not come because there was no water. Imagine the ridiculous stuff.
All those
Now, you see, we need to get ourselves ready. As far as I am concerned, from my lucubration and elucubration, Nigeria is under policed. That's one. On a particular day when we will discuss the policing system of Nigeria, I will throw more light on that. We need to rejig the Nigerian police. There is an advantage of state policing too, and we need to fine-tune the Nigerian police. We need to mobilize them. We need to give them the necessary security apparatus that is required, and we need to increase the number of policemen we have. As I said before, Nigeria is being under policed. Yes, we need to. Nigeria is under policed. 200 and something million Nigerians.
Are you pointing at me?
Oh yeah, of course we need to.
I'm not the IGP.
Are being policed by less than 5 million policemen. Does it make sense?
Okay. Members of the assembly. Members of the assembly.
I am happy, by the way, that the IGP came. He came to strengthen the forces to make sure that Nigeria is flanked by people who are.
All right, one house. As much as we've said all these things, let us also not forget about their welfare. Okay, their welfare should be looked into, right? So, but then on that note, may we all stand to recite the national anthem. Okay.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve the might, the nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Ridiculous.
Okay, welcome back to the assembly. So we begin with our first conversation, talking about CBN bows to pressure, increases withdrawal limit. Members of the assembly, we've been on this for a couple of weeks. Remember, I don't know why you're clapping, but let me talk. So remember, on the 26th of October, CBN talked about the redesign of the Naira note, and well, it came earlier than expected, right? And I don't know if any of you have seen the Naira note, the new Naira note, but that aside, aside, now recall that CBN said, look, for an individual, you just have 20,000 to withdraw per day and 100,000 for a week. And for corporate organizations, you just have 100,000 per day and 500,000 per week. And now, CBN has said, oh, after the whole pressure that came from the Senate, now they're saying, okay, fine, this is what's going to happen. For individuals, you can withdraw 100,000 per day and then 500,000 Naira per week. So for organizations, it's actually 1 million and 5 million per week. What are your thoughts on this?
Adding to the issue of that money and my limit, my do channel, my cash for 20,000, according to POS, and now quite na she can work an ankit, I mark an lebe danda punyawa wage. I was the one I akwasa. When I make it this year, the governor central bank and give my Mando Senate, Mando House of Rep, Tigideya, Titi, So apart from the fact that now, even governor name is to we have to increase the economy and maybe to bring back the money.
Cashless policy also, to introduce the cashless policy.
Is good. Mana, if they have, if Obunawemele increased the withdrawal limit just like he did now, it would have affected a lot. We that are doing business, it will affect a lot of business. So I'm happy and make a near. And make it because when you get the lavia, we that I main market, I took it that way, for 500,000 naka. Here, so Tanit by your order, I have 500,000. Well, we pick a temper before Boshago. He had totally it's about again. Would the Anishiego? Are you getting what I'm saying? So, is a and make an area governor, 1 night on your Delta State governor, Godwin or Meffin, Yadi Shike, Chineke Biomena. That is all I have. Can Africa?
About the mutum gaya fadi.
I
know. We don't have much time. Sorry. Go ahead.
Just say
to me is that I am never in support of this increase shutting down. Because as a businessman now, because me now, if I go to buy cow, sometimes I buy cow of 20 million naira now. So if I buy cow finish, if I want to transfer 20 million, the people they will tell me that my limit is 1 million naira for a day. So that means for me to transact the business of 20 million naira, I will do transfer for 20 days. You know? This is slowing down of businesses.
It's good. Okay. It will affect something, man. I believe not for the good of
okay, this is not for this is not for good because okay now remember now we have a lot of unemployed graduates and some secondary school that finished their WAEC. They are into POS business. Now, do you know that if this Abunga come to mandate, is going to shut down on POS business? Because how will you come out now? Maybe if I come to your POS and withdraw 20,000 naira for a day, you have closed your shop for that day, man. So in fact, they have to look into the matter. For me now, Nigeria, to reduce or increase currency is not our problem right now. Our problem is to work on our economy and make our naira to be valid. Now, how much is $1? $1 is equivalent to 750 naira. Or month before, when I small, they are telling me that 1 naira is equal to $1. I mean 150 equal to
there is a discrepancy in the value.
Let's talk about it.
I want to throw more light to that.
Okay.
You see, this issue of redesignation of Nigerian currency, as far as I am concerned, was a wonderful plan. It was a wonderful plan. When you look at the advantages, when you look at the ameliorative tendencies it brings to play, you will say that is nice. At the end of the day, it was crystalliferous that the redesignation of the Nigerian currency is a subterfuge, it's a shenanigan. Because when you say the word redesignation, you remove some things. You just changed the color of the currency and you told us you added some things under it, you placed some things on top. Now, another thing, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Emetuzo is impure. Another thing again that I want to talk about is the issue of money. When a country wants to prosper, why can't we remove the faces of dead people that we have on our currency? Let's start from there. And put people that are alive for the amelioration of Nigeria. Now, the third thing is this. The issue of deciding that is 100,000 a day, 500,000 a day, limiting and encapsulating citizens in some kind of cauldron, an auditorium of confusion and discombobulation is entirely unacceptable. Now, the Senate said that is not acceptable, that 100,000, 500,000, 1 million and more is against what they want to do. Now, citizens should see saying it. Of course, you know that people who are saying the senators have their own reason, which we all know, and we the citizens have our own reason. Let's be fair here. What we need, there are so many youths that are not employed. That is ridiculous. That is opprobrious, one. There are so many people who are going to lose their jobs. That is an ignominy, as two. And there are so many people who will go out of business. That on its own, that on its own is what I call mwahaha. And another thing that I want to talk about is we need to be fair. Okay. Let's be fair on our economy. We should talk about boosting the value of Naira. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria that apotheosis and deification of malversation have dealt us a mortal blow. You can imagine dollar having up to three values at the same time. Okay. One is telling you 750, the other one is telling you 800 and 500 Naira. But on Google, it is still 490, I think. I'll be 500 Naira. That is a ridiculous discrepancy that should be poo-pooed by every Nigerian. Thank you very much.
Prof, because of time, I would have wanted us to talk more concerning, the value this change would add to the Naira, right?
Of course, there are values.
Of course, yeah. Now, listen, I wanted us to educate because so many persons have been asking the question, like, is this going to add value to the Naira note? A lot of things, the CBN governor talked about for the redesign of the Naira note, talked about the insecurity issues, talking about the kidnappers, okay? A lot of things that the CBN governor talked about, but because of time, probably next week, when we come next week, we'll just, enlighten our audience. Well, we just have to go on a break, and when we return, we would continue with the conversation. Do stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to the show. Right now, we just need to talk about the fuel scarcity that is being experienced in some parts of the country. And down here, what we're experiencing is the hike in price. But in other parts, for instance, somewhere in Lagos, people can't even find fuel. They can't even get it. And apart from that, it has affected the transport fare. Now, you can imagine someone was supposed to visit me yesterday, and then she changed her mind, saying, look, I cannot come down to the east because I'm being charged at 30,000 Naira. So she changed her mind. So what are your thoughts on that? And this is Christmas season. Should this always happen every festive period?
It is not always, but this is one thing I love about my Northern brothers. During Salah, if you come for North, our things are very, very cheap, affordable. The fuel price is on a normal rate. And more if you come here for Southeast, once it enter December, you go see even one we get them for police station, you will intentionally close down the police station, say there is no fuel. Just finding a way to increase money on the liters.
It's not only Igbo people. They said that.
Especially for
fuel scarcity be done in Abuja.
Forget
it started in Abuja. First.
Consequences when they do well.
It's not.
Why is it that everything is increasing for your consequences? Why is it not increasing in my consequences?
It's that's what Abuja all or not.
The petrol we're talking about right now is.
Okay, for general.
Yes, it's a general thing.
Abuja.
Sometimes it's from the businessmen, people who are in charge. They will intentionally do it in order to make some money because this is festive season. Because I can remember there's a place we used to go on a normal price of 500 Naira, but now that we have entered December, it has skyrocketed to 1,000 Naira. If you ask the driver, why are you charging me too much? He will say the fuel has added money to, and nowadays it's a liter now. I think it's up to 2 centimes.
270.
280.
280. So if you check it now, if the man buy 5 liters, how many passengers will you carry? If you, after expenses and everything, if you go house, if you didn't increase money for your transport, you see that you are not getting. So in order to fight this fuel scarcity, the government need to help. The NNPC need to help and make sure that we have circulation of fuel to all the police stations. Why was we be facing this kind of thing every Christmas? The
problem.
Among we have oil in Nigeria.
Problem we question now to akabundo NNPC nando nogamando.
If you are talking to me, talk for English. Can you talk about Igbo? If you are talking to me,
you respect me.
If you are talking to me, talk on English.
Can
you know it's not for me? If you are talking for English,
NNPC nando agency do in charge of oil and
Okay,
gas. Na Nigeria. Abroad Igbo. It's not in Igbo.
So sorry, let's allow him to talk.
Okay,
So
you
sorry.
talk English.
So sorry.
We are not in Igbo class. We are not in Igbo class.
It's okay.
Mutane NMPC who come out Kupito.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's hear you.
Now, sir, I'm chacha.
So sorry. Go ahead.
But the same thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear
What are you saying?
Just hold on. Let's hear him. Go ahead. Let's hear
So,
him.
like I was saying before, the problem
Now you are talking.
go from NMPC and from agency in charge of oil in Nigeria. Man, I don't know them. So they should be the one to look into why is it that every Christmas season there will be increase in all these things. Price.
Courtesy.
Because I don't Malay believe not one particular filling station or fuel station will just come and add money. And people and other ones maintain what to their price. People like JD go for. It's not possible. So the problem is from NMPC and the general.
For me,
For you.
this is another gigantic discrepancy.
Make I find dictionary.
Another ginormous discrepancy. A destructive discrepancy. Now, just like you said, I wouldn't disagree with you. Last year, it was only in the southeastern part of Nigeria that this nonsense happened. But this year, it seems to be everywhere. Now, I ask myself these questions. Whose job is this? Now, let's begin to question some things in this country. Let's begin to ask ourselves questions in Nigeria. First, the minister, well, not even about the minister of petroleum, not really the minister of petroleum. We need to find out. This seems to be something about self-aggrandizement, bogus postulations. There is no how fuel can be fluctuating. Yesterday, 260. Today, 270. Tomorrow, possibly 290. And people are looking at it. Now, you see, it is just very appalling. It is very disheartening that in a festive season, when things are supposed to go down, things are skyrocketing, things are increasing ridiculously.
You know, it is a shameful thing and a taboo to we good people of Nigeria that we are a giant of Africa and we have crude oil in our country, oil producing country, and we have our leaders have the gas and the wine and the mine to sell fuel for us 250 or 50 naira 280. Only the price alone it is not welcome. Why will you be selling fuel 200 and something to the citizen? Before how much is 1 liter? Before
we must understand that when things are done pro bono publico,
when
things are done pro bono publico, the theory of development is realized. Okay. We must check it. Some people who are owners of fuel stations, people who are owners of gas stations are behind these things. Self-aggrandizement in the eyes of that. We must find out those behind this and show them the way out of business.
All right, we'll just have to go on another break. When we return, we'll just talk about the last social discussion that we have. Do stay with us. We'll be white black. Okay, welcome back to the show. Now, the last conversation that we need to have is about the groom that slapped his bride, actually, on the day of their wedding. What does that tell you, Prof? Let's talk about it quickly.
Wait, what's the reason for the slap?
Nothing.
Okay, interesting. First,
should there even be a reason? Go ahead.
Good. All right, yes. Everything has a reason, just that the reason might be stupid or reasonable.
Even publicly?
Yes.
Now, you see, we have gone to, we have reached a stage of life where things are questioned for proper assimilation and understanding. When things like this happen, unconventional things, unorthodox and bizarre things happen, what you do is you bring the person, you check her mental status first. One, Two, you check the person's history, the forebears, the primitive and olden days.
I didn't agree with that one.
Excuse me first. Excuse me. Now, after doing this, then you can now find out, did they have some kind of rift? Was there a disagreement? Does she have a grouse? Does she have issues with the man? Because you cannot come on a day of exorbitant enthusiasm, a day of rampacious felicity, and you raise your hands and slap your husband. Ha.
No. The wife.
It makes no sense.
The groom slapped. The groom slapped the
groom
bride.
slapped. It is still the same thing as far as I'm concerned. There is no reason. Even if there should be a reason, it wasn't specified. This was first thing. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Invited people, extravaganza, and you gather somebody and just slap the person. One is mental status should be checked. Number two, history should be checked. Number three, there should be a proper check to be sure there was no grouse. A clandestine grouse.
Okay.
Then number 5, let's take on the village people.
And
before the slap, they have been slapping at home.
Exactly.
And the slap break for outside. This one is called slap breaking for public. Yes. Before the slap come out public, it has been inside slapping.
Unleashing
my first
chronic traumatic
my first Igbo dates. The very first day she give me slap. Me, I give up. And since I retaliated till today, we have been in peace. She has never tried that again.
Okay, one house. Now, on that note, as a lady, I just feel that when you're in a relationship, before it gets to that level, I think she must have been seeing the red flags and decided to do all of those things. It's important that when you are in a relationship, you should look out for those things. On that note, this is where we end today's edition of the program, The Assembly, right here on ABS Television. My name is Lady Blonde from very high places. A very big thank you to members of the Assembly. We'll definitely see you next week. From all of us, we're wishing you a Merry Christmas in advance. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
See you next year.